Platz Nummer 5.
Jacques, double 12. Oh,
129.
very nearly a 12 darter and a 141 checkout to kick things off.
He's come back for double 6.
100.
And the right-handers do like double 6. Straight down the line. Getting awkward now, got to go high. Commentator's curse. And I tell you what, Chris Dobey, if he can get into trouble with this dot, fortunately not.
88.
Well, he's put pressure on it, but Peter Jacques, having missed 3 darts at double 6, will not miss another one. Sneaks it in the corner for a 1-0 lead. They have met the once so far in Peter Jacques', well, so far very short PDC career. But he did beat Chris Dobey, beat him in a deciding leg back in April on the Pro Tour in Wigan. Dobey out for a bit of revenge. And booked his place in round 2. But it's going to be difficult if Peter Jacques carries on like that.
Is he going to be another one of these Yorkshire late bloomers? And no, I'm not talking about bread. The list goes on and on. You've got Dennis Priestley, James Wilson, Dean Winstanley. You could go further, but, you know, Dennis Hickling was around forever.
To be fair, Dean Winstanley only looked like he was a late bloomer. I mean, he just looks about 20 years older than he actually is. But I take your point.
Well, we say that late bloomers these days are 21-year-olds.
Wow, yeah, that is true.
I was just saying in the previous match with Rob Malarkey that World Series, European Tour, Pro Tour, Q School, you name it, it's getting people to pick the darts up, whether they've been around before or not before. You know, Mike Holtz was absent for a decade, and then all of a sudden he thinks, oh, I want a piece of that action. And Peter Jacques has obviously said that at the beginning of the year.
Well, I mean, Peter Jacques had been playing a lot of county stuff anyway. He's a revered county player, from what I understand. But, you know, you're never sure whether you can cut it until you actually go and prove it. And making a final of a Pro Tour event in your first Players' Championship, winning on the Challenge Tour, which is not easy. You know, look at last year. You know, Searle and Cross coming through on the Order of Merit. Burnett didn't make it.
Pressure required 42.
42 for Dobey to level up. Double 16 he wants. Next door for double 8.
26.
A chance for Jacques. 1 treble gets him a dart for the leg and a 2-0 lead.
This could stun Chris Dobey early in this match. And it's the kind of finish he relishes. Treble 18. He went for the 60. I understand the logic, I really do. This didn't happen on this occasion, so Dobey comes back for double 8.
Making hard work of this. Last dart, manages to pin it, 1 apiece.
Third leg pin in the throat first.
Just dangled it in front of Peter Jacques and said, not quite, I'll have that one please. And this is about as northern a match as you get, isn't it?
45.
Northumberland versus Yorkshire.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you could have had Marco Cantili from Finland in there, but if you're going to go, northern in England, then certainly.
Chris is from a part of the world that I know very well. I grew up 3 miles from Bedlington. And Bedlington really is a hotbed of dart players.
Well, half of them are Chris Dobey's family, aren't they?
His Uncle Arthur, who I played darts with, and his dad Gordon. And the Super League team that Chris plays for to this very day has not changed at all, pretty much, since I moved to Australia.
34.
He actually took my place.
Did the team improve with your move to Australia?
Absolutely. Absolutely. They lost the weakest link. Now, the Netherton Club Super League team. People like Matty Willis, Mickey Luke, Arthur and Gordon Dobey, Ian Arkle. Great people. And I'm sure Peter Jacques has got a very
58.
avid following with his Super League team and his county team. All very proud of these two guys, as they should be.
Well, Peter Jacques taking the game to Chris Dobey here.
70.
Doesn't find the double 16, but he knows he's going to come back. I mean, just look at the comparison between the seasons of these guys. Peter Jacques already said, won a Challenge Tour, made a Pro Tour final. Chris Dobey's only had one quarter-final. And it's 2-1 to Peter Jacques. Yeah, and that was way back at the start of the year in the UK Open qualifiers. So, really, if you're going on form, I'd have been fascinated to see the odds. I don't know what the odds were. Chris Dobey is obviously the most high-profile player. He's perched just outside that top 32 in the world and has, you know, constantly talked up by Gary Anderson, who of course is biased because he's part of his management stable. But he's shown in runs to one of these Euro Tour finals and playing some excellent darts, even on big stages on the TV. We've seen some excellent darts from Chris Dobey.
46.
He's shown that he's got something special. But Peter Jacques is probably the guy who's played better over the course of this year. It'd be very interesting to see how the bookies have priced this up and whether there was much of an appetite for backing Peter Jacques, because he's doing this a lot.
180.
He's very much a no-nonsense kind of player. He doesn't go up there with funky hair or do any dancing. He just gets up there and plays well.
And it's not, you know, aesthetically, it doesn't look a beautiful throw, but there's not a very great deal that can go wrong with it, is there? I mean, it's just straight back and forward. Rhythm is good.
Something to be said for something that is really repetitive, and that's exactly what he's got in his locker.
100.
You know who he reminds me of? Richie Davies. Remember Richie Davies from Wales? Made the Embassy final,
might be before my time.
Lakeside final in the early noughties. Lost to Barneveld. What a player. Called him Lamb Chop.
Ah, yes.
65. Video required.
Same type of player. Petite.
Petite?
Yeah, petite. And just doesn't make many mistakes.
Game shot.
No mistake there, and that is a break of throw. Peter Jacques, the Yorkshireman, a 3-1 lead against Chris Dobey here. And good value for it, you have to say. I mean, Dobey just hasn't really got going.
60.
I've spoken to Chris a lot over the last few months. I spend a bit of time with him at Pro Tour events because he's fantastic company. But he's transitioning to a new set of darts. And he's had this set for quite some time, but he's transitioning to a new set, and he hasn't quite taken the plunge with the new set yet.
60.
So he's gradually working his way up to doing it. But he feels that he's better with these under pressure. Just the little knurls and grooves that are in this particular set, he just feels like he needs to use these right now.
Well, he's certainly coming under pressure here, and he's going to have to put that theory to the test, because 3-1 down. He's giving himself an opportunity here to break back, though. Good leg of darts, this from Dobey. Yeah, 1-2-1 left after 9. Well, that leaves the 1-4-1 that Jacques very nearly took out at the start of this match. So Dobey has already had one warning. Treble 17 for bull. Not going to get a go at the bullseye. And Peter Jacques, he went treble 20, treble 19 and missed inside on the 12s earlier on. If he can put it right here, it's 4-1. And he might put it right. Me.
Well, did you see the little come on from him when he hit the 60? He fancied that. Make no mistake. And that's exactly what Chris Dobey can't do right now. He can't make a mistake, because double 12 it must be. Double 12 it is, and he's still in this match. That was a very, very valuable break. Just keeps Peter Jacques thinking. Well, qualifying, Chris Dobey came through Paul Rowley of the Midlands, and Steve Lennon, the talented Irishman.
Yeah,
heard that was a very good game, actually, between him and Steve Lennon. Two young lads having a right tear-up.
Would not surprise me. I've got huge admiration for both Chris Dobey and Steve Lennon. I think they could both go places in this game.
57.
Both still very young in, well, just in life, but their darting careers as well. Although Dobey, I mean, he's grown up playing darts, hasn't he? That's the thing with Chris Dobey. You wonder, had he spent a bit more time, had he come over a little bit earlier to PDC Darts, played like the development tour, because he only came over when he was too old for it, so 25 years old. Would it have helped his development? Would he have had a jump start to his PDC career, being able to play on that youth tier? We'll never know.
Do you know what it is? I think he was enjoying playing in the Northeast so much with the people up there that he just took his time and waited until he actually felt ready. I know that Gary Reid, or Tug as he's known, up in the Northeast, has nurtured him very, very well. And they're all very proud of him, but now it's up to him. He's got to do what he feels is necessary. He is his own boss.
Great set-up shot there from Peter Jacques, and Dobey's being forced to take out the 1-2-4. Can he do it? He might do. 14s. Double 11 for a beauty.
102.
Well, by virtue of that impeccable setup from Peter Jacques, he's got double 16 for a 4-2 lead. You can see that, and there you go. Didn't have to move. Didn't think about it too much. He could see the right-hand side of that double 16, and he just plucked it out the air.
Well, Dobey worked hard to get the break of throw, but he's immediately broken back, and Jacques looking to extend his lead to a 3-leg one. And one that could prove to be terminal for Chris Dobey's hopes at the Happy Bet European Darts match play. Winner of this faces the number 11 seed Ian White.
16.
He's just relentless, isn't he?
Taking Dobey out of the equation here. Back-to-back ton 40s.
He's definitely got something about him, hasn't he, Peter Jacques? I can't quite put my finger on the word yet. But I'll think of it, especially if he wins today. I've got another 24 hours to think of something.
Oh. You may have to get your thinking cap on, Nicholson, because this is pretty impressive. The averages have been climbing for both men, but there's still a 10-point gap between them. Jacques into the mid-90s, Dobey only in the mid-80s.
100. Do you require 125?
It doesn't really have to go up the Hollywood shot, which is bull 25 bull. No pun intended, of course. But he can set it up really nice, and he has. On a double after 12. Just what the doctor ordered in this situation.
Yeah, well, making life very, very difficult for Dobey. That's not enough to get to a finish. The double 10 for Peter Jacques. All the time in the world to see this off and go within a leg of the second round. Right on the wire. Surely, just bounce it off him. The other side, obviously, Peter. But perhaps better to miss outside than to miss inside on the 10s in this situation.
Absolutely right.
124.
He's under a bit more pressure this time. Invariably, players of this quality tend to hit it when they're under more pressure.
Oh, that's awkward. That is awkward. You can see that kicking over. And once again, Peter Jacques misses 3 darts. 6 darts for a 5-2 lead missed. Double top for Dobey to steal this one. And steal it he has. 4-3. It looked as if Dobey was going to be put on the brink. But he is very much in this game now.
Got to say, Dan, seen it a few times today. I actually saw it from Marco Cantelia. He apologised to his opponent for winning. Stop doing it, lads. It's not good. You're up there to win. Don't apologise.
You wouldn't have caught Bristow apologising at any stage in his career, I would imagine. You rarely caught Bristow apologising full stop even off the dartboard, as it turns out. But
100.
Certainly, in a game of darts, Bristow would have just rubbed it in. And that kind of annoyed people and probably won him a few legs and games here and there.
Couldn't agree more. Get up there and just win the leg.
55.
Obviously, be respectful to your opponent. It is the mantra of the PDPA, the Professional Dart Players Association. Respect your opponent, respect yourself,
57.
respect the game. But at the same time, don't apologise, get up there and win.
We can see the averages there. Peter Jacques outscoring Chris Dobey, but
60.
there's only a 5-point gap in the averages. That was 10 just a leg ago, and that is by virtue of Peter Jacques missing 6 darts at double 10 for a 5-2 lead. And if
97.
Dobey can turn this around, then that will be the moment that comes back to haunt Peter Jacques. Those 2 visits, 3 darts in hand, double 10, and he just
50.
couldn't get it done.
Pressure required.
And it's hurt him. You can see how much it's hurt him. He's had 4 visits in this leg and only scored 208 points.
That's about as much emotion as you get from Peter Jacques. He's just had a tiny shake of the head and a look at the carpet. But he's genuinely upset about the fact that he's not in this leg
85.
and not further in front
58.
by virtue of those darts missed a double 10. Double top it is for 4-4
Game shot
for the Northumberland man.
Chris Dobey.
And we're all set.
9th leg.
4-4.
First. Game
Best
on.
of 3.
Well, by hook or by crook, Chris Dobey has got himself back into this game. However, Peter Jacques is probably still the favourite by virtue of the fact he has the throw in this leg and the decider if we go the distance. Having lost the last 2 and 3 of the last 4, is he rattled?
We're about to find out.
Just chuntering away to himself with every dart.
That's the exact word I was thinking of. Chuntering. Chris Dobey doesn't, his lips don't move. But look at the lips of Peter Jacques. He's constantly talking to himself. He's got a hamster and a wheel inside of his head right now.
There's just a couple of darts every now and again you see from Jacques that just seem to be thrown with a bit of venom, and he's pulling them down. When he seems to be hitting the target more when he's a little bit smoother. And I think it's probably just frustration more than anything, because he feels he shouldn't be in this position.
60.
We'll just see, he's not doing it every dart, but some of them he's really, you see, that looked a lot smoother, and it's in the treble 20.
100.
At this stage of the game where some of the adrenaline has left your body, you really find out what the nerves are like. And Chris Dobey would love to leave a nice little 2-darter here.
65.
96 is all right, but he wanted to put a bigger hole in that.
Great dart. He's going to get a dart for a 5-4 lead. Double 16 is the target.
78.
And he does not hit it. He is 4 out of 19 on his doubles, Peter Jacques. If Chris Dobey can take out the 96, he goes into the lead. Is it treble 20? Is it double-double? It's double-double, and it might go. My word.
He fancied that. He had a little squint in his eye a la Benito van der Pas before that top. He fancied it, but he didn't hit it. And can Peter Jacques punish it?
He's been here before, but he can't get the job done once again. It is 3 darts in hand, looking at a double that he likes, and he is unable to hit the target. And Dobey to go into the lead for the first time in the match in the 9th leg. Double 10. And it's the target that caused Jacques all the problems early on. Chris Dobey is 1 leg away from what looked like an unlikely victory at 4-2 down, and way, way back in that 7th leg.
Tell you what, guys, whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching it back a little bit later, have a look at that double 10. The pressure's on him. He's just thrown 2 very mediocre darts for his talent, and he's got an open bed, under nerves, and the thump and the lack of wobble in that dart shows that it was absolutely bang on. What a shot from Chris Dobey.
Well, that has been the difference in this game so far. Peter Jacques, by far the superior player in the opening stages. But unfortunately for Jacques, there have been 3 visits in this game where he's had 3 darts at a good double, and he's been unable to take it out. 3 darts in that last leg, 6 darts in the 7th leg, losing them both, and Dobey is edging towards victory.
I know it's not the same, but when you play a lot of local tournaments, short format stuff, you're under this kind of pressure in games a lot. And Chris plays a lot of stuff, lots of different types of tournaments, and he thrives in this situation. But oh my God, can he hit it? Yes, he can with double 8. Oh, it's so close!
My word. My word. Peter Jacques, after missing handfuls of darts at open beds, gives himself a chance at the 136, can't take it. Dobey gets a match dart. It's the smallest target on the board.
59.
One match dart missed by Chris Dobey. Peter Jacques has had 3 visits where he couldn't take out a double with 3 darts in hand. He can't do it again, can he? He can't do it again. He has done it again. And Peter Jacques, well, he'll be shaking his head all the way back to the practice room and back to Yorkshire, because surely Chris Dobey is going to take this out. Takes a moment again. Oh, not to be. It's 3 match darts missed by Dobey.
You require 8.
Well, it's a great game, and the neutral people don't want it to end because it's very entertaining stuff. But Peter Jacques wants this leg over. He really wants to hit this double 4, and he does. We're going all the way. A very entertaining match. It's not your best standard, but it's enthralling all the same.
Whoever loses this match will be convinced that there is only one person to blame, and it is themselves.
But dart players don't think like that. They always find somebody else to blame or something. Someone shouted out, somebody tread on a black cat, that kind of thing. But these guys, very honest, I'm sure they could look in the mirror and say, right, I should have won that match. And one of them is going to.
Well, I don't know who that is at the minute, because 41-55 for Peter Jacques. Only 60 to kick off from Dobey. A ton, but that's pretty good in this current circumstance.
Very good indeed. Peter Jacques would give a lot for a 140 right now.
35 darts have been missed at double in this game between the pair of them. The majority of them by Peter Jacques. But it will not matter if he can just hit the double in this leg.
56.
That ton's looking even better now, isn't it?
Well, big trebles at the minute are rarer than celery in a PDC darts practice room.
That's pretty rare.
But maybe... Oh no! Wow, Chris Dobey. It was there for him on a plate. Acres of Seisel in the treble 20 to aim for, and he stuck 2 in the 1 segment.
58.
There's just no big trebles to be had. They're shrinking.
Tell you what, if he gets a 140 here, he would tell you, I'll never have a Greg's pasty ever again.
57.
Well, he's down to a finish. He is down to a finish, Chris Dobey. And in a game where both men have missed so many darts at double, it wouldn't surprise me if one of them took out a ridiculous finish, just because darts doesn't make sense. But this would be one of the most preposterous shots we've seen today. Well, it's not going to happen.
60 to square it up.
64.
Leaves a 2-darter. Jacques will have to use all 3 here. It's a nice finish, the 127 for a big one. Now it's 17s. He knows it's ball or double 8. Oh, and again he misses double 8 for a big combination finish. Peter Jacques has turned to miss a match dart. He's already survived 3 from Dobey. But can Dobey get another one here? Does he stay there? Is it tops? It is. Oh, Chris Dobey misses the tops a second time.
16.
This game has had an awful lot to watch. Peter Jacques has got 2 darts left at double 8 to take the match, and he does.
And the match.
A bruising match. But I tell you what, it gave so much to this Hamburg crowd.
4 times in that match, Peter Jacques missed 3 darts and a visit at an open double. It looked like it might be 5, and he handed the game back to Chris Dobey there, but he finally pins double 8. He had to survive 4 match darts
from the young man from Bedlington, but Dobey will be heading back to the northeast after a first round exit. Peter Jacques will be here tomorrow to take on Ian the Diamond White, the number 11 seed. That is 4 games down in this evening's session here at the Happy Bet European Darts Match Play. We've got 4 more to go. Vincent van der Voort, Adrian Lewis, the standout match on the way. Eric Tautfest in his Euro Tour debut against John Michael, my big fat Greek dart player. Kyle Anderson, the original, takes on former Lakeside World Champ Christian Kist. But coming up, it's Kenny Nyans, the young Belgian, against the bullet Stephen Bunting.
I just said a very intensive match, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, you've got to respect who you're playing as well, so it's great.